It is time to talk about some new makeup releases. There are some interesting things coming out this week or that have come out this week. And I actually also bought quite a few things, more than I was expecting. So let's get into it. Let's talk about it. Alright, so first up we have a new release from Klarity Cosmetics. This is the I Love Coffee palette. And it's a Coffeehouse Vibes lip collection. It is already launched. It launched a week ago and the palette will retail for $54. The bundle is $90. So I tried a palette by Klarity Cosmetics last year that I didn't like at all. It wasn't for me. I didn't like the shimmer formula. It was so like loose in the pen and crumbly. But I have heard a lot of people really liking the Klarity Cosmetics formula, so I'm kind of like, am I missing out? Did I get kind of like a dud? Are there formulas that I would indeed really like? I'm a little scared to try the brand again, but I am still kind of like looking at their releases. It could be that at some point I'm like, okay, let's just try them again. Let's give them one more chance if everybody is like liking them so much. But besides that, I think this color story is a little bit too warm for me. It's quite a big palette, some warm shades. I'm not really into that right now. It's something that I did for a little while. I was a bit more into warm tones. Now I'm like steering away from that a little bit. Then we have the new Natasha Denona Bloom eyeshadow palette, and this is once again one of her midi eyeshadow palettes. And when I first saw some photos of this, I was actually expecting this to be pretty like pinky, kind of like rosy pinky. Then when I saw more swatches, I watched some videos. It's definitely quite a peachy palette. Like it has some pinky shades, it has some peachy shades, it has some warmer tones, and basically every time, whenever Natasha Denona releases a palette, I'm like, will this be the palette where I try the brand again and then in the end I decide to not do it? And the same goes for this one. Like this is just too warm. I do like pinks, but I like them to be not as much on the peachy side. I don't mind kind of like combining peachy pinks with more cooler tone pinks, but this isn't exactly my color story. So I'm gonna skip on this one as I usually do with Natasha Denona. There are already so many videos out on this one. Then we have this new Nars release. I do feel like I had a better picture with more of the different products on it. Let me just see if I can find that. Okay, this one. We have 4 face palettes in kind of like a fun and bright striped packaging. We have some lip glosses or lip oils. The Afterglow lip oils. We also have the Mini Laguna bronzer and lip oil duo. And we have the Total Seduction eyeshadow stick. It's a new limited edition collection. When I first saw this collection, I was interested and bored at the same time. It was a very strange sensation. Like there was something kind of cute about these palettes, but also I just couldn't really see myself actually buying this, using this, feeling very excited about it. It was like, okay, we've seen these before, but the packaging is kind of cute, but also it doesn't feel like super inspired. I had a weird mix of emotions. I'm not going to be picking this up. I do like the colors in the lightest cheek palette. I do think that I would enjoy those, but I don't think it's gonna be my collection. Like I don't really have a lot of things from Nars. I have some cream bronzers, like 2 shades of the cream bronzer. I have an eyeshadow palette and I bought one of the lip balms a while ago. But after that I just kind of felt like, okay, I've tried what I wanted to try. Like maybe in the future I will try something, but this feels a little bit like a reiteration of what we've seen before. Then from McGrath, we are seeing a Candy Crush limited edition collab. We have this fun and cute striped packaging. Makes me think a little bit almost of like Christmas candy canes, but also I haven't played Candy Crush. I don't know what like the game really looks like or what would fit a like Candy Crush themed collab. I do always get a little bit disappointed, even though I wouldn't have bought this anyway, but I always get a little bit disappointed if a collab is kind of like just a few things here and there that is mostly about the packaging, like a few lip products and a new packaging, something like that. I always feel like that's a little bit of a bummer. Feels a little lazy. Like if it's something that really matches the collab, like really makes a lot of sense, I don't mind if it's a smaller collection. Like it's not really about it being small. I just don't feel like this is very inspiring besides the packaging. So I'm not going to be picking this up. Then last week we talked about this new eyeshadow palette by Cheeryep Makeup, and this is their spring release, and we saw just a few colors, but now we've seen all the shades, we've seen some swatches. This is a very like spring themed quite pastel eyeshadow palette. I have debated picking this up, like I put it in my cart at CBeautyMall. I was thinking about it, but in the end I decided not to go for it because I do feel like there are quite some warm shades in here. There are also some cool tone shades, but I do feel like we have kind of like a warm bright peach and kind of like a orangey shade. I don't know. I do like pastels. I do like pastel eyeshadow palettes, but I have the Judy and Oden's Eye one that has a lot of more cool tone pastel shades, and that is kind of like my ultimate pastel palette. It didn't fully feel like my palette, so I decided not to get it. Like, I did buy another pastel palette actually this week, so it's not impossible for me to be convinced by another pastel palette, but it just should be the pastels that I like to use and that I reach for, because otherwise I would just kind of forget about it. It will get lost in my drawer. Like, it has to be something that I think of when I'm using another palette to combine it. So I didn't grab this one, but I do think that the color story is really cute. If you like some warmer shades, it looks really beautiful. I like the yellow packaging. Like, it's cute. Then we have the new Wind Dancer Setting Powder Collection by What's a Beauty. And this is a new lightweight coverage, long-lasting performance setting powder in 4 different shades. It's a weightless setting powder. It's $32 each, and we have light, medium, tan, and deep. And they are launching the day that I'm filming this, which is the 28th of February. This is actually coming my way. I did get kind of like a strange email saying that my package was selected for some kind of like check, and I had to email them the order confirmation. But of course, because it's PR, like, you get a confirmation that it's shipped out, but it's not really like a traditional order. So I hope this is gonna get to me soon. I hope like nothing is gonna go wrong with that. I did ask for light and medium also because I do want to be able to kind of like see the differences between the two, see which one I like, because I do feel like What's a Beauty products usually run a little bit lighter. So I'm gonna be trying this out once it gets to me. If it gets to me, hopefully it will. I didn't get any other email saying that there was a problem, but we'll see. I'll have to check the tracking. Then we have a bunch of new things from Made by Mitchell. I was thinking, wow, it's been a while since they launched things. Like, I don't know, a week or two ago, I was thinking, well, it's been a long time. And there was a time, I think in the fall, where Made by Mitchell was releasing so many things, kind of like back to back to back, like so many things were happening. They had that big Space Cowboy collection. And then for a few months, it was kind of silent, but now we've had this big launch with a lot of products. And I did get a few things that I will be filming with tomorrow. So I don't know when that video will be up. It might go up on Sunday. We'll see. Or it might also go up at the same day that this video is going up. We'll see about my schedule and how much time I have to do everything. Okay, had to change my battery. What was I saying? Okay, new Made by Mitchell. I will just go to the website to have like the overview of everything because there's so much happening. Okay, so we have the new Brow Sludge brow palette with 2 free brow brushes. I feel like that's kind of standard with Made by Mitchell. They put free brushes in. I think this is great for makeup artists, and I feel like that with a lot of his products. Like, a lot is also very usable for just regular consumers, but this is definitely for makeup artists. Like, there are so many brow colors in here that I would never use. Then we have the new Lip Frost and Lip Balm combo. It's like a duo in different colors, and I got one of those to try out. It's a bit more on the expensive side, but you get 2 really big tubs of lip balm and lip scrub, and it comes in this box. Like, I was thinking this was gonna be way smaller, but I definitely think the price is like 23 euros, I think, that I paid. The price really is reflected in how big this packaging is. Let's see, we have 2 times 20 milliliters, so that is a lot of product. I haven't opened these, and there are different shades. I got the shade Pinch Me, which seems to be kind of like a pinky color, of course, you know me. So this is the lip scrub, and smells faintly sweet, like a pink lemonade. Kind of nice. I do like the scent. So this is the tub and the scrub. It looks kind of cute. I do like it. I don't know where I'm gonna put this because it's like pretty big, but I did like the idea of that. And then we have the Pinch Me Lip Frost Intense Lip Balm, and this is what it looks like. I do feel like this is gonna be nicest to apply with a lip brush. Also smells a little bit like pink lemonade. I do really like the color. I don't know how much of the color will actually be shown, will actually show up on the lips. We're gonna see about that, but that's one of the items he came out with. Then we also have the Glow Goo, which I already showed you in a video. This one, so this is an illuminating primer. We have 4 shades in this, and this definitely has kind of like an iridescent sheen. I have the shade Peach Pearl, which is kind of like an iridescent peach glow, kind of like a golden peach with a little bit of a pink in there as well. I really liked it the first time that I used it. I will probably use it again in this video to have like all the information in one video, but it is a kind of like milky product that then fully dries down. I didn't really love it on its own. I did feel like it emphasized some redness in my face, but this underneath a skin tint I did really enjoy. I really liked it. So we have more shades in that as well, also more a cool tone pink. And then we also have some mystery bundles. We have the Smoothie Stain Lip and Cheek Tint. We have a bunch of different shades in here, some really fun shades. So this is kind of like a cream blush or cream lip product and blush that is very matte. I didn't see this on Boozy Shop. I don't know if Boozy Shop will get it, but I think this is probably not gonna be my ultimate perfect product because I don't love a super mattified blush, but it kind of depends because I've also seen some videos with this blush where it kind of seems to adapt to the glowiness that was underneath. And if a matte product can kind of like become a little bit more skin-like and glowy because of a glowy skin tint, then I would like it. So I'm kind of like on the fence with this one, but I haven't even seen it anywhere where I could purchase it. Then we have the Curve Case Pressed palette. So we had the Curve Case just cream palettes, and these are the Curve Case pressed, and I did buy the palette in the lighter colorway, and that also comes in a box with a brush like this, and it's in the same type of packaging as the cream palette. I do feel like this packaging is more makeup artist friendly in a way, like being able to just take off the lid and like put this on a desk. It's very makeup artist-esque once again. Personally, I do like it when it's attached, but that's like personal preference. So this is the Curve Case in the pressed version. And the thought behind this is that this can work kind of like as a lightly pigmented setting product for the cream Curve Case. So I'm gonna be trying that out. I do really like the colors in here. We have some colors in here that are very light for me, but I feel like the light one is too deep for me. It's a bit difficult to decide on the colorway that is best for you in a way because it kind of like ranges, and like the lightest colors from the light one would work for me, and then the deepest color from this one would work for me. And then I'm specifically talking about these bronzer shades. Like these two I could use as a bronzer, but these two, like, not really. I could maybe blend the edges a little bit with that. That could work. So I'm gonna be trying that one out. I'm pretty excited to see like how pigmented the formula really is. Does it work on its own? Like, do I like the cream Curve Case better with this in combination with this? I think it's an interesting launch. Also saying that it's supposed to be used as a setting product that is deliberately lighter. I think that's an interesting choice. And then we also have the new Lip Sync Matte Lip Cream, and I believe we have this in like 16 different shades. These are 17 euros on Boozy Shop, and I got one of the shades just to try it out. And the thing with these Lip Sync lip creams is that they're kind of like in this squeezy tube packaging. I got shade Blossomed. They are in this squeezy tube packaging, and then it's kind of like a creamy, more soft, more comfortable liquid lipstick. And I do think that this is an interesting packaging choice. I do think it's gonna be easy to kind of like put a little bit of this on a little mixing palette to then grab it with a lip brush and then apply it. Apparently you can just use a little or you can build it up, and it's supposed to be very comfortable. I do really like the look of this shade, but I do feel like I probably have to use this with a lip liner. Like it's lighter than I was maybe expecting, but I do like a light pink lip product. So that's gonna be it for the new Made by Mitchell. You're gonna see what I think of that. Then we have from Haus Labs by Lady Gaga the new Bio Radiant Glassy Balm Highlighter Stick. It's a hydrating multi-use highlighter stick formulated with 64% skincare that delivers a long-lasting ethereal glassy glow. So I have a feeling that this is not gonna dry down. I feel like it's gonna be more of that balmy, glassy look like the Le Glace by L'Oreal. I'm not gonna be picking this up. I do always feel like this is a pretty dividing type of product. Some people love it, some people hate it. I do feel like I have enough of this type of product for how much I actually use it, so I definitely don't need this. Then we have from L'Oreal the new Infaillible Skin Ink. It's a foundation and concealer offering a flawless complexion for up to 48 hours. The coverage of a foundation with the concealing power of a concealer for a flawless matte soft finish. Okay, so this is available in 15 shades, which I think is interesting for a product that is supposed to be very high coverage. I also don't see a lot of dark shades here. Like, there are 2 swatches on the deepest arm. Like, we don't have a lot of options here for something that is so full coverage. I think it's an interesting choice. I don't like it. I am not going to be picking this up because it's matte and it just doesn't really work on me. And so far I also haven't had a lot of luck with the L'Oreal like complexion products, so I'm gonna stay away from this. Then we have the new Cabana Club Blurring Bronzer by Polite Society. I don't know if this brand is available anywhere in Europe. Have you seen it anywhere in Europe? I feel like this probably wouldn't be available to me. And I also feel like I have my eye on some other bronzers already. I have my eye on some bronzers already, and also I have tried some really great bronzers recently. So that is not going to be the type of product probably that is going to get me into a brand for the first time. Like, usually what gets me into a brand is a combination of products or maybe an eyeshadow palette. That could happen. Then this past week I actually posted a video where I tried Wycon cosmetics for the first time. This is an Italian brand that is somewhat comparable to Kiko. Like, the things they do with their limited editions and their prices are somewhat comparable, and I did really enjoy a lot of the things that I've tried. If you haven't seen the video, I will link it in this video. But yeah, I had a pretty good experience and I'm pretty interested to see what this brand has to offer. And now they've actually just come out with their spring collection, and their spring collection is called Vichy Garden, and it's just very floral, picnic, very typically spring. And I did make an order for this collection. I did buy a few things. I do feel like with the eyeshadow palette in this collection being 50 euros, that doesn't give me much room to try a lot of different products. Like, in my mind, I have kind of like this line that I don't really cross when trying like one collection or when buying makeup for like one video. And I do feel like with this kind of collection, with such a like star of the show eyeshadow palette, I do want to try the eyeshadow palette. So I did pick up the Spring Break eyeshadow palette, and this is the pastel eyeshadow palette that I was just talking about. We have more like softer purples, cool tone greens, blues. We have one kind of like grayish brown taupe to kind of deepen up these shades. I do feel like this is pretty nice and cool tone. I do see myself wearing all of the shades that we have in this eyeshadow palette. So I did decide to pick up this palette, and then I bought a glossy lipstick, and I bought one of the cheek duos. I bought the Feel the Vibe face palette, which has a highlighter and then a blush. And then what did I buy? I bought one of these soft tan bronzing powders. This is a bronzer with a gummy texture, and so I bought the shade Cool. I'm guessing this is going to be more of a putty bronzer. In this collection we have concealers, we have more lip products, we have bags, like makeup bags, face primer. Like, it feels very much like a Kiko collection, like a bit of everything. It's all in the same like green packaging. I don't feel like the packaging itself is like super inspiring. Like, the outer boxes have this gingham style pattern that I do really like, but it's not on the actual packaging. We also have some liquid lipsticks, matte liquid lipsticks. So I feel like this is gonna be kind of like a make it or break it moment for me and Wycon. I'm gonna see if I would be interested to review their limited editions, if I like their limited editions, how I feel about this eyeshadow palette, because I feel like with the eyeshadow palette that I tried in my video, the look came out really nice, but the mattes were maybe a little bit harder to blend than I'm used to from some other brands, so it's workable, but I didn't feel like it was super easy. I did really like the shimmers and they didn't crease on me. So this is gonna decide if Wycon is gonna be regularly featured on my channel. I do really like discovering new brands, and I do really like discovering especially new European brands. It's just something that I really enjoy, and shipping from Wycon really isn't that bad. I don't know what the threshold is, but I haven't had to pay shipping for either order, so I'm pretty interested in Wycon. I haven't decided fully yet if I'm gonna get into this brand. If I do, that doesn't mean that I'm gonna be reviewing everything. I'm trying to not decide that upfront anymore. Like last year I said to myself, I'm gonna review every Kiko Milano collection, I'm gonna review every Essence collection, I'm gonna review every Catrice collection. And you cannot really say that upfront because sometimes you're not gonna like the collection. Sometimes it's just not gonna be for you, especially with some Essence collections. I've just decided to take a little bit of a step back, maybe buy a little less or just not buy the collection at all. And I feel like that works way better for me because I've been buying a lot of products that I've been actually really excited about and that have been really easy for me to get a review on because I just wanted to use them again. And that is just my goal. That is what I want to do. That's just how I want my channel to work for me. And I am just someone, I like a spring collection. I love a spring collection. Like spring collections are for me. I love a good pastel eyeshadow palette. I'm really curious to see if Wycon can do pastels well. Like I'm curious to see. I also asked you on my community tab what other Italian brands you want to see from me, and I also got a lot of suggestions. I'm not gonna do a full face of an Italian brand right away, but I'm keeping my eye out for the brands that you mentioned, and probably like in a month or two I will do another video like this, kind of like discovering a brand that I've never tried before. It's just something really fun, and it just makes me realize that there's so much more out there in the world than I know. Like sometimes I think I know a lot about makeup, but in a sense I don't. Like there are so many brands out there that I've never heard of. There are so many brands out there with amazing makeup that I've never tried. I'm also not gonna try and know everything and know every brand and try every product. Like that's crazy. Like I don't think that should be my goal, but I think it's interesting to discover new things. Then we have a new cheek product by Revolution. These are the new blush icon palettes, which is a 3-in-1 luxe treat for your cheeks, featuring a powder cream and shimmer blush. Available in 4 iconic shades. We have Aura Points Rose, Authentic Peach, Hot Pink Flag, and My Cherry Truth. Okay, very interesting names. I think this could be really nice. But I don't see a shade here that I would wear. I do feel like it's very inspired by maybe the One Size one. I feel like more brands have come out with kind of like these cheek trios. The one that is like closest to something I would try is the pink one, but that hot pink blush in the middle is just a little bit much for me. I know I wouldn't wear it, so I'm gonna wait and see if there's gonna be more shades. Like there's basically one colorway that is for lighter skin tones, and that is the peach one. I do think it's a smart choice. These are also only like €8, which is really not bad. I'm gonna see if they add to the range, but it's not something where I'm like, okay, I need to have this, I need to try this, I cannot wait. Is that gonna be everything? Am I already through everything? It feels like it's not a lot. Like there are some other things happening as well, but mostly some shade extensions that I'm not really interested in. So I guess that's gonna be it. Alright, so what you can expect from me is a Made by Mitchell newness video. I'm gonna film a video with the Wycon collection. I don't know when that will arrive to me. I'm guessing that will maybe be up like Tuesday or Wednesday. We're gonna see. And then I'm actually also working on a lot of new makeup updates. My Essence update, also general new makeup updates. Like things are gonna get rolling again. I was sick, I got behind on everything, but now I'm working hard to get the content out to you. I'm doing my best. And yeah, that's gonna be it for today's video. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in my next one. Bye bye.